Let's head to Boston now and catch up with Sky News contributor Kristen Tate. Kristen, it's good to see you. Thanks for joining me. Look, it seems as though Donald Trump has almost had it with Vladimir Putin. He's called the Russian president crazy, following it up with this swipe. Have a listen.
I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him. But he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay? We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kyiv and other cities. I don't like it at all.
Kristen, it's been obviously a fraught relationship. There's been at times where Donald Trump has supported Putin, now not so much. What's been the reaction to the president's latest comments?
Look, I mean, the left loves to call Trump a Russian stooge, but under the surface, Trump and Putin don't trust each other. And, during his first term, all we have to do is look at Trump's track record. He had the most forceful anti-Russia policy since Ronald Reagan. He authorized lethal aid to Ukraine. He sanctioned the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. So I'm not particularly surprised to hear these comments from Trump, as, the people in the media are. But I do believe that Trump maybe didn't realize how nuanced this situation was or how complicated it would be to resolve before he got into office. On the campaign trail, he repeatedly said he would resolve this conflict on day one. Clearly, that hasn't happened. And perhaps by saying that, Trump actually set himself up for failure by setting some unrealistic expectations, shall we say.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to put it clearly. Look, let's talk about Joe Biden. He has made his first public appearance since he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, attending his grandson's high school graduation. But on the other side, CNN journalist and one of the authors of Original Sin, Jake Tapper, has had a revelation of sorts. Now, he is claiming that politicians lie. Well, who would have thought? Have a listen to this.
And I think that we need to be skeptical of everything that we are told by people in power. And I mean, that obviously should be the mantra of being a journalist to begin with. If your mother tells you she loves you, get a second source. Right. But we just need to remember that, like, politicians lie. White Houses lie. Power is an aphrodisiac. And we just need to all remember that.
Honestly, Kristen, I just think this guy is like a used car salesman. This book tour becomes farcical and more farcical as he goes along, waffling on about all things. And now he's saying politicians lie. I mean, what's the next excuse?
Oh, I know. I'm so glad that Jake Tapper is finally interested in being a journalist. It's incredible. But honestly, I mean, do we really think this book or any of the other ones like it would have come out if Joe Biden had won the election? Absolutely not. As I wrote about in my Sky News column this week, the media, most of the media, the ones who aren't writing books, they're busying themselves in the U.S. right now, writing all these stories about rapper P. Diddy's legal problems and, all these other things that just don't matter to Americans, like Bill Belichick, this football coach's girlfriend. They are completely ignoring what's in front of their faces with Joe Biden, which is, I believe, one of the biggest scandals in American political history, which is that there is a real chance, not for sure, but a chance that the president of the United States, the former one, Joe Biden, actually had cancer in office and was not disclosing that to the American people. Perhaps that it was covered up by his wife, Jill Biden, his doctors, and his handlers. And there's just a complete disinterest in that story by the media. It's disgusting.
Yeah, and there should be a full investigation as to who knew what and when. They shouldn't get away with it. Now, I don't know what Australia ever did to the US to receive Carmela Harris's presence over the weekend, yet she was here on the Gold Coast sharing her pearls of wisdom at a real estate conference nonetheless. The former vice president took a swipe at Donald Trump and even joked about her employment situation. Have a look.
As I said, I think your best work is ahead of you for sure, 100%.
I am unemployed right now.
Kristen, firstly, I'm surprised we even got her down under for a real estate conference. I'm not sure what her expertise is in real estate and property, but apparently. But, another word salad.
That's right. Yeah, I am also shocked that she was invited to speak at this conference. She is literally an expert in nothing. The only reason she became the vice president is because Joe Biden boxed himself in by stating on the campaign trail that he wanted a Black female as his running mate. And that limited his choices dramatically. She is the classic DEI failure. But yeah, we all in America, we realize at this point that she speaks in word salad. She says a whole bunch of long-sounding words that mean absolutely nothing. And she is just so embarrassing and so boring to listen to, actually. So I apologize that you had to deal with her in your country for that trip.
As I said, I don't know what we did to the US to deserve Kamala Harris down here in Australia, but there you go. Kristen, Tate, it's been nice to catch up with you. Thanks so much for joining me on the show this evening.
Thank you so much for having me.